Hey guys, Cam for 15. Back out with another video for you guys, and I'm back with more ReZero. Shockingly enough, I recorded this Wednesday morning because I was told, well, I didn't have to go in early, but man, this episode was something. This episode is something, and now it seems like we're getting to the heart and we're getting to the meat of this story. So yeah, obviously the main thing about this episode was around Garfield and everything, and we get a pretty damn huge revelation at best with the fact that oh no, the potential prediction that that was actually his mother. Oh well, that's the case. The girl is actually his mom, Rarisa, or now they call her Lizara or something like that. Anyways, we pick up right where we last left off, with basically the Archbishop of Greed, essentially telling that he's gonna take Amelia to be his 79th wife or whatever, and everything. Now, we pick up where we leave up there. Subaru's kind of in utter shock of like why he would want him to do that, and then, Regulus is just like, I addressed you, my ninja. I thought you at least show common courtesy, which was, and I'm like, ninja, you better. I'm like, dog. I don't know what his abilities are, but he can instantly kill you right then and there, dead. Say something, and obviously, Subaru is just like, I'm not Ski Subaru, and then he's like, oh, okay, there you go, good, good, good. I'm just like, I'm over here tense. I'm like, what the actual hell? Now, funny enough, Sirius is actually like attacking the Archbishop of Greed, Regulus, and it's over this whole love thing and everything. And he's just like, "Can you please stop this? There's like no need to do this." And I'm just watching this. I'm like, so they're not cool with each other. Well, relatively to what we see at the end, but you have it to where Subaru finally tells the freaking boy Lisabel, all right, you get out of here and you go run. I'm like, it's about damn time he finally told that damn kid, hey, get out of here, it's probably not good for you to be here. So that's the thing, right? So tells the kid to go off. He ends up starting to use some of the abilities he's gained, and obviously thanks to Beatrice helping him is doing that. Now, he ends up unleashing Betelgeuse's abilities. Now, mind you, he's also trying to attack Regulus. And the attacks that he's going on Regulus is not doing a damn thing. Like, this dude's just like boom, boom, boom. And he's just like, that's the best you got, man. So this dude is a lot stronger than what he is. Now, again, Subaru is not super strong himself, but like legitimately, it's like, dog, this dude is like, he's crazy. Now, when he unleashes the invisible hand, that's when Sirius just go crazy, and she is just. It looks like Superman unleashed another attack, but then she starts firing fire again. Oh, I found you! I found you, my love! I'm just like, what the fuck? And then she literally says the name Betelgeuse. And Super's like, fuck. Listen, man. Listen, bruh. Dog. Okay. Now, I've been watching other people's reviews, and the theories are the fact that she's actually like Fortuna. Sirius is actually Fortuna, and Pandora must have did something like, she did with Betelgeuse, and turned him into, or Goose, and turned him into Betelgeuse, essentially, right? I'm starting to believe that this might actually be Fortuna. The eyes are obviously a dead giveaway, but the fact that she talking about her love and everything for Betelgeuse only tells me of one of two things. That's got to be Fortuna, because we know in the flashback from season 2. Again, mind you, it's been a while since I've seen season 2, and I got to go back and rewatch season 2, especially for the English dub. But we got the Amelia backstory. Some feelings for um Betelgeuse. Definitely had feelings for Betelgeuse. And and it was clearly obvious. So the fact that she was going all about this and freaking out and everything, it makes absolutely complete sense why she would do this. Now, why she's calling Subaru Betelgeuse, I have no clue, even though that's not Betelgeuse, because Regulus is like, you do know you're blinded by your love. Like, that's not the guy you say he is. And she's like, yeah, I know. Which, that was funny, because she's like, hey, who cares? Whatever. Anyways, she's the reason why she's attacking Subaru too is because it's like, all right, it's clear you're holding that little girl behind you, and then also you're going after that witch over there too, um, and everything. Because before this, like essentially, you know, Subaru's asking Regulus like, hey, why are you interested in Amelia? Why are you trying to take her to be your wife? And he's like, because I like her face. Now, personally, if you ask me, that's not a good trait for a man to have. You shouldn't be attracted. Yes, looks for a woman, if you like somebody, can play a role. But personally, me, it's the characters of the person that means the most. Yes, looks are obviously an added-on thing, but clearly, but also it's about the character of the individual, right? So basically, you know, Subaru's like telling him like, well, she's my waifu and everything, you can't have her and everything. But that's the thing. Anyways, this bell goes off. The Regulus like, well, I gotta go do what the prophecy tells me, essentially. Well, it's anything. And then before he leaves, he uses his ability to cut off a good chunk of Subaru's leg off. And he's just like, well, that's what you get for treating me so disrespectfully. And I'm just like, I knew that shit was coming. I knew that was coming. So anyways, and even Sirius walks away too. Also too, when Sirius was crying, the people who were being controlled, or under control, was legitimately crying tears of blood. I'm just like, oh God. I'm like, I don't know how, again, man, right now, out of all the archbishops, she might be the first one that needs to go, because she can be a problem. She can be a problem, but actually, too, you can make the case that she probably should be the last one to go, because even though her ability is very dangerous and deadly, because she can not only control you, but she can control surrounding people. But now the fact that it seems like people are going to be in shelter, there's no need for people to go outside, so she'll probably not have to deal with people, but knowing her, that's the thing. But anyways, what then happens, and also too, when Subaru loses a good chunk of his leg, the other surrounding people lose a good chunk of their leg, because they were all connected to Subaru, right? So Beatrice is essentially healing her. Beatrice essentially is healing her up, or healing him up to heal his leg, and that gets to the point where it gets to the point to where Subaru, like after a few hours, wakes up. He is okay, he didn't die. So I would envision this is when he gets up from this point, this is probably the new checkpoint. So going forward, when he dies, he's going to essentially wake up at the point where he's waking up after the events that just happened. I feel like this is the new checkpoint now. Him waking up in the medical bed, his leg is going to still be injured, which for future outcomes or death runs, that's going to play a factor into everything in terms of the shit that he can possibly do, because now he's got an injured bum knee now. And you had it to where Crucia's freaking the cat person. I forgot the person's name. Oh, Felix. Oh yeah, Felix. Felix is like, you don't want to move too much on that, because you're just gonna make it a lot worse. So that's the thing right then and there. Also too, Beatrice for the time being is down for the count, because not only did she use her mana to heal Subaru, she used her mana on all the other individuals that had the same exact injury as Subaru, and it was thanks to Lisabel. It was thanks to Lisabel that they even found Subaru to begin with. Otherwise, he probably would have bleeded out to death. Also, too, the girl Tina Lisabel is worried about, she was gone. She was gone out of the blue. Where she's at, I don't know. So that's another story point I guess they got to, you know, deal with. And that and I just have a sneaking suspicion Sirius probably still has a hold of her, but we'll see. But anyways, Subaru ends up getting, or anyways, the thing is, to get Beatrice to at least be conscious again, it seems like they're gonna have to give her some mana. Who's gonna give that mana? We don't know, but we'll see. But anyways, before I get to the Garfield stuff, Subaru ends up going to talk with Anastasia, Crush, Anastasia Crush, the one of I forgot the other guy. And then hold on a quick second. Hold on. Actually, I'll be back real quick. Okay, continuing on. Anastasia, Frush, and Wilhelm are all there and everything. And essentially, they let Subaru know like what's been going on because essentially after all the incidents have been happening, and this kind of ties into the Garfield stuff, but after their situation is kind of somewhat resolved. But they essentially tell Subaru like the sin of Archbishop of lust, essentially essentially came on the loudspeaker and essentially said that, you know, Pristella, the city, belongs to the archbishops, the sins of archbishops, right? Or the witches' cult. And essentially, they have these different towers that they're in control of. And essentially, if they open the gates, essentially the city of Pristella could be flooded. Now, essentially, what happens is a warning was sent out to civilians. They're basically being held in shelter and everything, and that's kind of thing. Now, they also asked Subaru, like, hey, are you sure you saw another archbishop? Or are you sure you saw an archbishop? And Subaru's like, yeah, I did. I saw the archbishop agreed. And basically, they're like, well, that just tells you that, like, clearly there's more. And also, I forgot to mention, Otto ended up running into the archbishop of gluttony. And he ended up killing this one guard, and he looked back at Otto. So, and that's where we cut from that. So we don't know what he did. But the archbishop of gluttony is here. So he did something to Otto. Did he eat his memories to make everybody forget about him? Who knows? But that's another guy that they got to take down too. But it seems like the party's already happening and things are getting crazy and hectic and everything. So essentially, and the reason why the archbishops are here is because they're looking for something. And Anastasia essentially says, yeah, what they're looking for is a piece of the witch. And essentially a piece of the witch. This city was also used as a trap for the witch. And apparently the remains of the witch are here, and that's probably why they're here. So clearly you have your story as to why 4 of the archbishops of sins are here. And things like that. So yeah. And that's where the episode ended off right then and there. And we're basically in a position to where, okay, now we need to come up with a plan to try to take down these dudes and essentially save the city, right? Now, the Garfield stuff was pretty damn interesting. Now, if we left off with the Garfield stuff, he saved the girl, or he saved the boy, and essentially ran into a woman that looks like his mother. So we ended up finding out that him and Mimi ended up actually going over to their house and staying a bit and having some treats and everything, or some tea. And Garfield's kind of conflicted, and he's just shocked by this as he's looking at his mom, essentially. And he's just like, this makes no sense. Like, how? And he's just obviously just shocked by this. Eventually, the kids come in and they're just want to have fun, and then also they give him the nickname. They're not calling him by the name Garfield. They're calling him Gorgeous Tiger because that's what he called himself, right? But then lo and behold, the husband ends up walking in, and that just shocks Garfield even more because he's like, my mom remarried somebody, and at this point he can't kind of like take it anymore, so he ends up walking out, and he ends up actually sprinting out because he just can't handle this, and it's kind of making him a little bit just sick and just another shock. Now Mimi catches up with him and is like, hey, are you okay? You just ran off. And then eventually the husband catches up, right? And it's like, listen, I heard that you saved my son. I wanted to thank you. and everything. And Garfield's kind of playing off like, yeah, it's no big deal, man. And he basically was like, look, is there anything that I can do for you? And that's when Garfield basically asked him, like, hey, man, you know, you know, where did you find, what's your wife's name and everything? And she's like, the, and then he basically deduces, like, that's not your wife's name. He tells because he's like, his name's like Lazara or something, and he's like, it's Rarisa, isn't it? And he's shocked. And he's like, how would you know something like that? And he's like, and basically Garfield plays it off like he somewhat knew who she was and everything, but without saying that, like, yeah, I'm her son. Essentially, we find out what happened. So apparently, a few years ago, the man ended up finding Garfield and Frederica's mother after they had crashed. But the thing is, they weren't dead like we thought they were when it was set in season two. She was just they obviously crashed, you know. And the thing is, she basically had amnesia because of the incident, right? And essentially, because she had amnesia, he helped her, and they ended up getting married. Now, the dude asked Garfield, like, hey, what connection or thing do you have with my wife? And he just ends up saying, like, I have no connection with her, which sucks because it's like, great, you're not gonna tell this guy like that's his mother or that's your mom. Like, your wife is my biological mother. She ended up leaving me when I was a young little baby. So this makes him very sad and everything. And then him and Mimi have a very intimate moment, and it's fun. And Mimi's just adorable. She's like, listen, here's the number one thing you can do. You can cry on a woman's bosoms. I'm just like, I guess that's one way to look at it. So I guess there you go right there and then and there. So that was cute and that was cute and adorable, because then you just have it to where Garfield is just crying out because Mimi was like, listen, I know you want to cry. It's okay. Just let it out. And Garfield was trying to hold back the tears because he's like, I'm a dude. I can't do this. But then you just get this emotional scene where he just cries and he's like, and he's just sad because it's like his mom has amnesia. He knows his mom is alive, but has amnesia, and his mom doesn't remember who he is. Now maybe at some point the secret will be revealed and he'll tell her, like, you were actually my mother. I don't know. We'll see. But it was just emotional, the fact that, like, he found his mom, but his mom doesn't remember who he is. Now it's very sad. It's very sad. Now the episode ends off also, well, from that story point for Garfield's story point. The episode ends off for him in terms of the fact that he's running to try to catch up with he's running to catch up and go back to the headquarters to see what's going on, because he hears about what happened with Subaru and then Amelia, because everybody's aware that Amelia got captured and everything, right? So he runs back and he ends up running into his mother again. And his mother's like, hey, gorgeous tiger, did you happen to see my children and everything? And he's like, no, why? He's like, well, they went out early and I haven't been able to find them. And right now we're taking shelter. I hope they're okay. And also, she's also worried about her husband because he works at the area where the sin of Archbishop of Lust essentially made the message. So I'm just like, oh shit, that ain't good. And then apparently the way she making it sounds like the kids also maybe potentially went there too. And it's just like, oh, this is wonderful. My best guess is the kids might be held hostage, but the husband might be dead. The husband legitimately might be dead. Now, if they actually have the kids dead too, Lord have mercy. ReZero is not pulling any damn punches with this show anymore. If the kids are even dead, they straight up just like, yeah, the kids, oh yeah, if those kids are all right. So Garfield makes the promises that he will find them. And that's where his storyline ends up. But overall, this episode was really damn good. I felt for Garfield. The situation was tense. It seems like people's predictions about Sirius potentially being Fortuna might actually be true, with the fact that she's reacting like that about just seeing friggin' Subaru use the pedal goose ability. I'm just like, oh my goodness, things are getting crazy, and it seems like from this point on, this season's about to go off the damn rails. So yeah, it seems like we gotta take down the sins of our archbishops especially Gluttony, because we need to get people, we need to get Ram and Crucius memories back, right? And probably Otto if he got eaten already too. Anyways, we gotta get, because if they find the witch's body or whatever that they need from the witch, they gotta he's gone. And also too, they gotta finish these dudes off before they unleash the gates and just flood this entire city, while people are like obviously taking shelter. But we'll see, we will see where this is gonna go. But very exciting episode, definitely can't wait to see what ReZero's coming out next and things like that. But till then guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day, night. I'm sharing this video. Till then guys, peace.